So, good morning, everyone. So, please enjoy our presentation. Thank you.
Wala pong sound.
Melissa, walang sound. Pakiulit.
How to play? First, we will use images or words to convey a phrase or message, typically a common idiom or expression. Second, you need to solve them. Make sure to look at word placement, size, color, and quantity. Lastly, take your time and don't give up. This can be pretty tricky. Kindly comment down below your answers, and the winner with the highest score will be exempted on our provided quiz. Good luck! Let's try it first. Can you guess it? It's so easy. Time's up. The correct answer is slow down.
Let's proceed to our actual game. We'll start off with a simple robust puzzle. Can you guess this one? Time's up! The correct answer is once in a blue moon.
Round 2. Can you solve this puzzle? Hint. Focus on the word here. Time's up. The correct answer is split personality.
Round 3. This is one of the rebus puzzles where you need to focus on the placement and the number of numbers. Keep guessing! Time's up! The correct answer is for once in my life.
Round 4. How fast can you solve this tricky rebus puzzle? Make sure to take note of the placement of the words. Any guess? Time's up! The correct answer is overseas travel.
Round 5. You might think this rebus puzzle has something to do with wine. But think again. Any guess? Time's up. The correct answer is win with ease.
Round 6. The answer is not try to stand if that's what you thought. Keep guessing. Time's up. The correct answer is try to understand.
Round 7. Clear your brain and think hard about this rebus puzzle. Can you solve it? Time's up. The correct answer is summer.
Round 8. We'll give you a hint to solve this rebus puzzle. What words start with meta? Hmm. Time's up. The correct answer is metaphor.
Round 9. Notice the shape of this rebus puzzle to help you solve it. You can do it! Time's up! The correct answer is street corner.
Round 10. This is the last round. How many of these rebus puzzles did you get right? Guess this last one and finish strong. Come on. Time's up. The correct answer is forgive and forget.
Thank you for playing with us. We will announce the winner after we finalize the scores. Congratulations to the lucky one.
Good morning, everyone. We are the Group 5 and we're going to discuss about the pastel painting. But first, I'll let you meet the group.
Good day everyone, I am Desiree Piralta. The first thing I'm going to discuss is the history. Pastel are an artist materials with a long history, sometimes compared to a dry painting. The medium offers an incredible range of colors with the ability to blend colors in the same way that you would paint pigment. Pastel have a long history dating back to the Renaissance. The medium is said to have originated in northern Italy during the 16th century. Artists such as Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo appreciated it. They sketch with the chalk. They only have a few colors their palette at the time, black, white, and red. To put in perspective, and there are currently over 1,600 colors available. The history is originating in northern Italy in the 16th century. It was produced from pure powdered pigment mixed with enough gum arabic, fish or animal glue to bind them. Renaissance masters such as Leonardo da Vinci in 1452 to 1510 and Michelangelo in 1475 to 1564 used national chalk for drawing, and it was from this that pastel developed. Leonardo da Vinci in 1452 to 1519 was a painter, architect, inventor, and student of all things scientific. His natural genius crossed so many disciplines that he epitomized the term Renaissance man. Today, he remains best known for his art, including two paintings that remain among the world's most famous and admired, Mona Lisa and the Last Supper art. And also, Michelangelo was considered the greatest living artist in his lifetime, and ever since then he has been held to be one of the greatest artists of all time. When did artists start using pastel? First, manufactured in the 16th century, pastel quickly found approval with many of the iconic masters of the day, including the German-born Hans Holbein the Younger in 1497 to 1543, who settled in London in 1532 and received the patronage of Henry VIII. Leading exponents of the medium included names such as Daniel Gardner in 1750 to 1805 and John Russell, Republic Act 1745 to 1806, and Francis Coates, Republic Act 1726 to 70s, who is regarded as the father of English pastels. These artists could change their clientele much the same price as portrait painters working in oil. And Hans Holbein, a Flemish painter who became known as the King Painter, his portrait of Henry VIII is one of the famous in art in history. And the 10 works by Hans Holbein the Younger you should know is The Body of Christ in the Tomb, Portrait of Erasmus of Rotterdam, Noli Me Tangere, Lais Corinth, Portrait of Sir Thomas More, Portrait of Thomas Cromwell, The Ambassador, an allegory of the Old and New Testament, Portrait of Henry VIII, and the last is the self-portrait. By around 1820, pastel fell from favor. Sir Richard Colehorn, 1758 to 1838, one of the great antiquarians of his day, considered pastel crape unfashionable. In the late 1860s, Edgar Degas, 1834 till 1917, started to use it. It is who is generally recognized as having transformed the pastel from a sketching tool into a core artistic medium. It was not long before other greats such as Gauguin, Matisse, Monet, Renoir, and Toulouse-Lautrec were using pastel with due success. And last, Sir Richard Colehorn, 1758 to 1838, was an English antiquary, archaeologist, and traveler who inherited a large estate center of Storehead in Wiltshire. He was independently wealthy and could afford the luxury of travel. And last, Sir Richard Colehorn, 1758 to 1838, was an English antiquary, archaeologist, and traveler who inherited a large estate center of Storehead in Wiltshire. He was independently wealthy and could afford the luxury of travel.
Pastel paintings are common throughout history and can be found in many of the drawings of the great masters. However, many people are unfamiliar with the pastel medium. So what is pastel painting? Pastel painting refers to completed works in which the entire surface area is covered in pastel. Because of pastel's exquisite blendability, combined with their luscious texture, finished artworks often emanate the same depth and richness as paintings. When we think of the arts, images of a canvas, paintings, and brushes come to mind. However, pastels are one of the older and more common mediums to produce fine art, and they don't require brushes. So, what is pastel? Pastel consists of pure powdered pigment and binder in a stick. It's basically the same pigment that is used in all art mediums. In appearance, it's sort of a cross between a stick of a chalk and a crayon. So pastel, often called a tint, a lightest variation of any hue. Just add a considerable amount of white into a shade and you've got the pastel color of that particular shade. Pastel colors are tend to bring a fresh and calming effect to your drawing. And if mixed with neutral colors, they work like a charm, creating an aura of sophistication of your pictures.
Hi everyone, I'm Eliza Cruz and I'm here to discuss about the manufacture of pastel. The current process for manufacturing pastels today has remained almost the same ever since the 16th century. Except most manufacturers keep their individual recipes secret to stay competitive with other brands. Pastels are made by mixing dry pigment with a gum binder and some filler to form a thick paste, which is fashioned into sticks and allowed to dry. These ingredients will differ based on pastel type and quality because pastels come in the form of a stick and they are available in various sizes, shapes, and degrees of softness.
Here are the compositions of pastels. The first one is hard pastel. Hard pastel are usually rectangular, have more binder to keep the stick together and good for creating tight, precise details. Hard pastels are the opposite of soft pastels and they have less pigment and more binder. They are firmer to work with since they can be sharpened. But the colors are not nearly as vivid. Hard sticks are typically good for marking sharp lines and details, including outlining in a pastel painting. So next is soft pastels are easy to smudge and blend. So soft pastel sticks have higher portions of pigment and less binder, resulting in brighter colors. So the drawing or the painting can be still in smudged and blended, but there is more dust because there is less binder. So next is pastel pencil are pastels that are encased in wood, allowing for less mess and more control over details. They can be easily blended with regular hard or soft pencils. So this is the present pastel like color pencils. So the last one is oil pastel are great for creating painterly effects, but their wax binder means they're incompatible with other pastel types. So if you want a brighter hue, reach for the oil pastel that which are made with pure pigment and a non-drying oil and a wax binder.
Good morning. I'm Ian Verdes Adano Briones, and now that we already know what is pastel painting, I will now discuss the pros and cons in pastel painting. Let's start with the pros. First, the tools or materials needed for pastel painting is easy to find. You don't need a lot of tools to work with pastels as you would with paints. You can easily find the tools needed and it is much cheaper than the others. By using the color pastels, you can make hard edges, wide strokes, and sprinkle the dust onto your surface. There will be no need for much tools aside from the pastels and some blending tools. Second, when you make mistakes while working, you can easily correct it. You can easily brush it off, paint right over it, spray with fixative, and get back almost to the original surface with just a little staining. Some needed rubbers and color shaper can be a tool to easily erase mistakes. Lastly, it has unlimited ways to use. The ways to use pastels are unlimited. You can easily use it to combine and blend colors, and you can even combine it with other media and put them in many different surfaces. You can use your pastel colors in ways you want it to be. And now for the cons. First, working with pastel can be dusty. Blending the colors can be dusty. Sometimes it can also be messy and can ruin the painting as these dust particles from pastels can be mixed with your work. This dust can also be inhaled while working, which may cause serious health problems. For that reason, extra care in handling this dust while blending is required. One must be gentle in brushing and to keep hands washed and to avoid using fans over the work. You can also wear face masks and avoid inhaling the particles. Next, some who use pastel painting have a hard time in framing their work. Pastels require glass glazing as it is not permanently fixed to the surface of the paper. It can be accidentally smudged all too easily. That is why it is always needed to be framed after finishing your work for its longevity. Last, for the cons, pastel can be messy to work with. Working with pastels is quite messy on your fingers, hands, clothes, and even on your work area. That is why one must be extra careful in blending and as much as possible, use some blending tools like color shaper and pastel blender or you can use cotton swabs or tissue paper. But overall, pastel painting is fun to do and it is gratifying to work with. It can also be ideal for beginners as it allows tactile control with easier way to correct mistakes.
Let me discuss the materials required for the pastel drawing. There was a four type of pastel. The first one was the soft pastel, hard pastel, pastel pencil, and the oil pastel. The difference between them was the soft pastel are the traditional form of pastel and also the most used. If not mistaken po, yun po yung usually na ginagamit natin at nakikita natin sa mga art materials during our elementary days until now. Yung ano po, yung parang crayon chalk yung itsura niya, tapos yung pinaka-cover niya yung color blue. Yun, ganun. Kung naaalala niyo po. Those are the component of pigment water and the smaller amount of chalk or the artificial binder. The soft texture of those pastel can create the smooth, smudgy lines and the intense color. While the hard pastel are made from the same ingredients as the soft pastel except they contain more binder and the less pigment. This means that their color are not just intense, but they don't crumble or break as easily. While the pastel pencil is to create controlled, detailed work of art with the pastel. They just like conventional pencils, but encased within the wood is a thin stick of pastel. Has a consistency in between hard and the soft pastels. And last, the oil pastel. The oil pastel are basically cylindrical stick of pigment, but there is a band with the wax and oil. This legally significant difference gives them a distinctive, consistent, and various properties lacking in other pastel types. The first difference is that the oil pastel would crumble, smudge, or the release airborne, dust like the soft pastel do. Next one is the fixatives are used for the fix and protect dry media such as pastels, charcoal, pastel pencil, or the graphite from the smudging or rubbing off. Final fixatives come in glossy and matte finishes. You should always test fixative on the craft surface with the media used on your final work before using artwork. Fixatives will tend to darken your media. Next, the sketchbook. A sketchbook is a book or a pad with a black page for sketching that is commonly used by the artist as a part of their creative process of drawing or the painting. While the canvas is a supporting oil painting made by the pasting canvas paper, pictured in the cloth pattern on the plywood board or the cardboard. And lastly, the sanded pastel paper is a type of drawing paper designed for the pastel work. Pastel required a lot of texture to stay on the paper. So even the smoothest surface design or the pastel have more to than the rugged paper design from the colored pencil.
And here are some interesting facts for you. A particle of pastel seen under a microscope looks like a diamond with many facets. Therefore, paintings done in pastel reflect light in the same way as a prism in multiple directions. Second, pastels from the 16th century exist today as fresh as the day they were created. Although in many cases, it is the paper that has begun to deteriorate, not the pastel. Third, pastel is not a chalk. Chalk is made from limestone. Pastels are totally different. Pastels are one of the oldest and most enduring foundations for hand-painted portraits. Fourth, pastel does not refer to pale colors. The name pastel comes from the French word pastiche because the pure, powdered pigment is ground into a paste with a small amount of gum binder and then rolled into sticks. The infinite variety of colors in the pastel palette range from soft and subtle to bold and brilliant. And lastly, pastel paintings hold their value. Some, by Degas from the 19th century, sold for $3 million each.
Good morning everyone, my name is Wally Amena and I'm going to do the tutorial for pastel art. So ayan, para sa materials na aking ginamit, meron akong bond paper, masking tape, and syempre huwag natin kakalimutan ang oil pastel. Ayan, lagyan natin ng masking tape bawat gilid ng bond paper para hindi na siya mag-move and stable lang siya pag nagdodrawing na tayo. Ayan, gupitin lang natin siya ng gunting para hindi na tayo mahirapan. Ayan, ayusin lang natin ng konti kasi medyo tagilid na siya. Then, ayan, kuha na tayo ng color na gagamitin natin para sa ating pastel art. So, sa akin, nagawin ko is sunset. Kaya, at ang napili kong kulay is orange, black, red, white, and pink. So, yan, simulan na natin. Nga pala, kung hindi ka ganun kasanay gumawa ng pastel art, pwede naman natin muna siyang lagyan ng drawing, then bago tayo mag-proceed sa pagkukulay. So, sa akin, nag-proceed na ako sa pagkukulay dahil hindi naman siya ganun kakomplikado and kayang-kaya naman i-proceed sa pagkukulay na. Ayun, inuna ko yung pink, then nilagyan ko siya ng space sa gitna para dun sa magiging sun natin mamaya. So yun, naririnig niya rin tilak na manok, alam niya na kung anong oras na ako nag-record nito. So yun, next ko naman ginawa is nilagay ko na yung orange, then ganun pa rin, nilagyan ko ulit ng space kasi maabot siya ng sun ko. Ayan, pinunasan ko lang saglit yung color ko kasi medyo marami ng bubong kulay. So walang problema kung pumatong yung kulay orange mo sa pink dahil magmimix naman siya mamaya pag nilagyan ko ng white. So yun, para medyo maganda naman yung kalabasan ng ginagawa natin pastel art, huwag tayong manghinayang sa pag-apply ng oil pastel kasi ganun talaga, naubos talaga ang oil pastel at hindi katulad ng ibang pangkulay, hindi madaling maubos. Ang oil pastel is sobrang daling maubos. So yun, sinunod ko na yung red, di katulad ng pink and orange, meron silang space kasi yung red hindi naman siya maabot ng gagawin kong araw mamaya. So yun, nag-iwan ako ng konting space, then nilagyan ko siya ng konting black para medyo maging dark red yung taas para hindi siya boring kapag Phenol red ko lang yung natitira kasi medyo malaki yung part ng red and at saka sunset nga. So, medyo padilim na siya. So, hindi natin ilagay siya. Ayan. Nakikita niyo medyo nagda-dark na yung red. Kasi nagmi-mix na yung black tsaka red. So, ayan, medyo nag-dark siya. So, next natin gagawin is ito na tayo sa araw. Ayan. Kulayan lang natin ng white yung space na iniwan natin kanina. So, yan, ginamit ko rin yung white para pag-mix yung dalawang kulay. Pwede naman gamitin yung pink or kaya orange para i-mix yung color nila, pero mas sanay kasi akong gamitin yung white para mas kitang-kita yung pagka-mix ng dalawa. Ang cons nga lang is medyo magiging light, kaya need ko uling applyan ng orange or kaya pink para medyo maging dark siya ng konti. So yun, kumuha ako ng tissue para ayan, meron kasing medyo kumapal na kulay. Need ko siyang tanggalan, then applyan ko na lang siya ulit. Pwede nyo naman din gamitin yung bulak, so hindi available sa akin yung bulak, kaya kumuha na lang akong tissue. Pero mas commonly ginagamit kasi nila is bulak para mas smooth yung pagtanggal ng color. So ayun, nag-apply ulit ako ng white kasi hindi ako satisfied sa pagkakamix ng dalawa. So yun, medyo naging light yung pagkaka-apply ko ng white sa tatlong kulay, kaya need ko na lang ulit siyang applyan mamaya. Yun, kinuha ko ng pink kasi medyo sobrang light na talaga, and kailangan ko siyang habulin para makita niyo yung mixing ng dalawang kulay. So kung gusto niyo mas maging light yung kulay na gusto niyo, lagyan niyo lang siya ng white and magiging light na siya. Huwag lang sobra kasi magiging puti na siya. Ayun. Apply lang ako ulit ng orange dito kasi nag-light na siya and kailangan kong i-mix. Makita yung blending nilang tatlo. So paalala ko lang, di po ako professional. Kaya kung ano man ang kalabasan nito, pagpasensyahan nila. So next kong ginawa is naglagay na ako ng black na mountain o bundok, and lagyan lang natin siya ng black dito. Huwag natin i-full black kasi lalagyan natin siya ng white para kunwari na sinagay siya ng araw. Ayan, tinawid ko na siya sa kabila kasi maglalagay din syempre ako doon. Ganun lang din gagawin natin. Huwag natin i-full black kasi lalagyan natin siya ng white para kunwari nasisinagan niya ng araw. So yun, pasensya akong balikot. Ayun, naglagay ulit ako ng isang bundok sa gilid para hindi siya ganoon ka blank space. Ayun, nag-apply na ako ng white para medyo nag-reflect sa kanya yung sinag ng araw. Apply lang ulit ako ng konting black kasi kulang yung nilagay ko. Then, blend lang tayo ng white sa kanya para medyo makuha natin yung itsura na gusto natin makuha. So, kung satisfied na kayo, pwede na kayong tumigil. So, yun, mga bundok na naman. So, punta naman ako dun sa tubig niya. So, yun, nag-apply na ulit ako ng pink. Kasi nga, tubig yung ginagawa natin. Magka-reflect yung kulay ng langit sa tubig. So, pink yung nauna, kaya pink po ilalagay natin. So, nga pala, kung nakita nyo kanina, ginamit ko yung white sa black. Before na gamitin dito, medyo muna siyang punasan ng tissue, kaya kahit ano, basta mawala lang yung black sa white. Kasi kapag in-apply natin siya ng meron black, magiging dark na yung kakalabasan ng kulay natin. So yun, apply lang ulit ako ng pink. Hindi ko pinuo kasi lalagyan ko siya ng black dito sa gilid para medyo mag-dark siya. Kasi sunset, diba, medyo padilim na yun. Kaya need ko siyang lagyan ng black dun. Ayan, hinalo ko yung pink sa black and medyo naging dark. Then, nag-apply din ako ng white para medyo maging light na konti yung pagkamix silang dalawa. Mahilig talaga ako sa white, kaya yun ang ginagamit ko sa pink. Mix ng dalawa. So yun, apply ulit ako ng pink. Hanggang masatisfy ako dun sa kulay nakakalabasan. Katulad ng ginawa ko sa kabilang gilid, ginawa ko din dito sa kabila para medyo maging ayan, minix ko ulit yung pink sa black, then nalagyan ko ulit siya ng white para medyo maging light. So next na in-apply is yung orange. Katulad ng sa sky, orange yung kasunod ng pink, kaya orange yung sinunod ko. So nag-apply lang ulit ako ng medyo light na orange. Then next ko siya dun sa black para yun nga, maging medyo dark yung pagka-orange niya. Then kinuha ko yung white, then ganun ulit katulad na sa pink. Ilagyan ko siya ng white para medyo light siya ng konti. So next, para sa wala pang kulay na part, yung kulay red na last color niya. Ayan, apply lang din ulit tayo. Katulad na ginawa natin sa dalawang kulay. Same din gagawin natin dito. Ayan, tinanggal ko lang yung color ng orange para hindi siya mag-appear dun sa red and black natin. So, lagi niyong tatandaan before tayo mag-apply ng color, kailangan wala siyang other color na nakalagay para hindi mag-iba yung gusto nating kalabasan ng kinukulayan natin. Ayan, apply lang ako ng puti sa lahat para mag-mix na sila. Ayan, medyo nakikita nyo lang ng bahagya yung pink, orange, and red. Ayan, apply ulit ako ng black para medyo maging dark yung gilid niya. Ayan, finalize lang natin para medyo maayos yung kalabasan ng pastel art ko. So, ayun. Medyo di ako satisfied dun sa nagawa ko, kaya remedyo lang. Yan, nag-apply ulit ako ng white dun sa sun. Then, add ulit ako ng bundok na maliit sa kabilang gilid. Para kunwari meron dun sa malayo na bundok. Lagay lang tayo konting details. Then, yun, ginamit ako na ng daliri para medyo mag-mix siya dun sa kulay. Ayun. So, yun na ang finish pastel art ko. So, tanggalin lang natin yung masking tape. Ayan, napunit. Dahan-dahanin nyo lang kasi madikit pala yung masking tape. So, hindi siya ganun ka-pulido. Kaya, pagpasensyahan nyo na. Ayan, dahan-dahan lang para hindi siya mapunit. So, thank you sa panonood, and ayan na po ang finish pastel art ko ng sunset.
Sir, good morning po. Okay na po yung presentation po namin.
Hello, nag-anxiety ako dun sa pagkakahila ng masking tape. Buti ano niya, buti nag-react din siya dun sa video eh. Anywho, so I guess they'll just have to wait for the Kahoot code here at the comment section or dun sa thread na ginawa nyo na. Where will you leave the Kahoot code?
Ano po sir, i-comment na lang din po namin dun sa parehong tab or kung saan po madaming responses.
Okay, okay. Understood. So, till when yung quiz open for them?
Until ano po, 11 p.m. po, 11:59, gano'n na lang din po.
Tonight?
Apo, tonight po.
Okay. So guys, you just have to wait for the Kahoot code here or wherever and it will be open till 11 p.m. tonight. Okay? So abangan nyo na lang po yung code nila. And again, um please take the quiz kasi una it's actually graded and yeah, for those people who participated with the icebreaker early on na hindi ko alam kung si Simone ba part nun o ano o may leakage na naganap. Siya lang yung nagpa-participate sa umpisa kasi naiirita ako. Ang ganda ng activity. Tapos siya lang yung sumasagot. Tapos sabi ko, sige, sasali na nga ako. Pero yun nga. Gusto ko kaya yung mga ganun. Parang ano, IQ/abstract parang puzzles. Nakakatuwa kaya. Anywho, so again guys, kindly wait for the code to be made available by the presenters. And I guess I think I'll message Desiree na lang for further instruction regarding the scoring of the quiz and at the same time scoring ng individual members. Okay? So guys, congratulations by the way to Miss Guarnes group. And yeah, we'll look forward to the last presenter on Thursday. Yeah, on Thursday. So yeah, thank you guys and yeah, maraming salamat at nakakatuwa. Nakakatuwa every time may parang on the spot na parang real time ginagawa yung video. Although this is pre-recorded obviously, pero on the spot nakikita parang andun yung process din eh, 'di ba? Even the mistakes, gusto ko yung may mga mistakes eh. Like, kaya lang yung part na ano, pagkakahila ng masking tape hindi ako natuwa doon. Pero otherwise, everything else gusto ko yung real time, gusto ko yung very very realistic ika nga, yung hindi kita kagad yung finished product and we get to see the process entirely. Yun yung natutuwa ako kasi yeah, okay, yun. So Melissa submitted or posted the Kahoot code on our chat box dito po sa conference call. So kindly visit it, click it and yeah, take the quiz and it will be available till 11 p.m. Otherwise, Desiree's group will just give me the scores once they're done. And they just have to post it on the Excel file that I will be giving them. Same goes for the rest. I think hindi pa lahat nakapagbigay sa akin ng scores. Ibigay ko yung Excel Excel file link to you guys kasi I would rather you post it directly there kaysa sa you come up with your own list para at least madali siyang i-transfer sa actual class record natin para walang ma-miss out. Well, hindi ako magkamali ng pag-transfer and everything. Okay? So guys, congratulations Desiree, Angela, Melissa, Franz. Asa pa ba yung mga ibang kagrupo mo? Hindi ko na nakikita. Congrats din kay Simone, one man army. Simon lang yung malakas sumagot kanina eh. Tapos sumunod na andyan
Yes, sir.
si
Actually, siya na
Geraldine.
po yung exempted.
Ako nga.
Siya na po yung exempted sa quiz.
Actually, I had to mute my mic kanina kasi my brother watched it with me. Sumasagot din siya kaya minute ko yung audio ko kasi sumasagot din yung kapatid ko and my brother's parang 6 years lang yung gap namin so he's old then like me. Tapos natutuwa rin siya dun sa ano, sa mga sa mga questions, lalo na dun sa ano, forgive and forget dun siya. Mabentang mabenta sa kanya yan eh. Anyways, thank you guys. And yeah, I'll see you all on Thursday for our asynchronous session for watercolor, I think. Watercolor na yata yung last natin. Okay, so maraming salamat guys and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
rin po, sir.
Don't forget to to leave the conference call kasi hindi ako yung nag-start nito. So baka
Yes,
may
sir.
maiwan na naman natulog eh.
Yes, sir.
Sige, salamat.
Thank you po, sir. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Ciao.